The guest before you, Elizabeth, was kind of using Leeds as not playing small. But maybe this is a kind of sign for you to get out of from local to global, because this is our mantra. Let's empower women locally, but let's get them go global. So first of all, tell us about you and what exactly a lawyer does.
Just going back to the Leeds point.
Yes, okay, let's go to the Leeds.
Because I think it's important. You know, Leeds is a great launch pad. And I think there's probably lots of women here from different parts of the country. Just see it as a launch pad. They're launch pads. They elevate you. They give you an opportunity. And, you know, that's the key thing, really, isn't it? Because I think if you stay there, yes, you will stay small. But if you get out, it's about showing up, as you say, Mirela, and I've really taken that away with you
It's
today.
a risk, yeah? Is the question here is like, do you want to be the biggest fish in the small pond, or you want to be the smallest fish in a big pond?
Exactly.
Which one would you choose, Elizabeth?
Well, the latter every time. Every time.
But how do you feel? I mean, I when I met you, you just... Honestly, you gave me the impression that you're really a big fish. How does it feel? For how long have you been in Leeds? Forever, since you were born?
No, I'm a Lancastrian, so I've gone over the border to do missionary work in Yorkshire. But I've been there. I've been there a long time, so I've become naturalised.
Oh, right.
But what a lot of people don't realise about Leeds is it's actually the second biggest legal centre in the UK after London. So it's actually a very big financial.
Very good.
The Bank of England are in Leeds. So there's a lot of, and traditionally too in Leeds and in the northeast anyway, there was a lot of money came about because of the wool trade and so on. Again, if you look over the Pennines, you know, Manchester became wealthy because of the Manchester Ship Canal, because of its connection to Liverpool and the docks and the Atlantic trade, and of course the cotton trade. And Yorkshire became wealthy because of the land. And because of the farming, because of the sheep and so on. So historically, a lot of people underestimate how much comes out of the north of England. And just to put that into perspective, the GDP of Yorkshire is the equivalent to the GDP of Belgium. And so a lot of people think of it as manufacturing, service industries and so on, but they don't realise actually how much there is there. And it's actually quite a dynamic place. So that's a bit about context.
Well, you're such a great ambassador for Leeds. Definitely, they should award you. And
the freedom of the city.
You're an asset. You're an asset. And again, thank you for taking your time and being committed to be with us today, because it's quite a journey. And sometimes I tell the ladies it's easier to go to Brussels and Paris with Eurostar than going to Manchester or another city. So everything is possible. Anyway, let's focus to you now, because when I met you, I was amazed how much knowledge you have and how easy you translate your knowledge to everybody to understand. And also, you are a lawyer that cover many aspects of business, but one thing that I was very interested is the trademark.
Yes, well, a lot of people don't realise the real value in a lot of businesses now is intellectual property. We have a mantra at work, it's on our websites: you dream it, we protect it. And, you know, trademarks are an essential part of that, but there's actually a whole plethora of protection that you can put in place. I mean, and I'll give you an example of that. I was listening to a podcast only earlier this week where a lady was talking about inventing a new way of children's football boots, the laces on football boots being connected together so they didn't come undone when kids were playing football. And she actually patented that. And, you know, again, that gave her enormous protection because she got a patent in place. Sarah, what's the lady on Dragon's Den? Sarah?
Yeah.
The crafty companion lady.
Sarah Davies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She actually made her fortune on the back of a patent. And again, a lot of people don't understand that. But one of the things that she did when she went into crafting was to look at how to make a self-folding envelope, because she was doing cards and things like that. And again, she patented that. And over the years, she's defended that in court a number of times to stop people from just copying it. So protection is really important, and understanding how what you've created, whether it's a fantastic kind of way of doing business in a database, or whether it's a kind of a great catchy name, or whether it's a kind of a design, it is about protection. And I love speaking to people about protecting what they've done and commercializing it, because again, it's about opening opportunities up for people. Is a possibility to license this? What's the global opportunity to exploit this name or this device or this design? And I love talking about that, because it's about making people wealthier and more aware of intangible assets. So I deal with clicks and not bricks, but let me tell you that the potential of making a lot of money out of intellectual property has never been better. And we're a great country. We innovate a huge amount over here.
Well, that's the reason I invited you. First of all, think big is my big thing. And because I've seen many people, they start small, but they underestimate how big this can go.
Yeah.
And many times people don't apply for that trademark to take the intellectual property because they don't believe in it. They say, okay, it's okay. Who's going to care about it? It's not going to be a big deal. And then you never know, because it may grow to that level that everybody wants a piece of it. And if you haven't protected it from the very beginning, it might be very late. Many times I found myself where, there was a moment where I was just about the summit in 2019, 2 weeks before the summit. All my pages were blocked. And I received a message from Facebook saying, your intellectual property is compromised, and somebody has filed something that...
Take down notice.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I had to take my lawyer, said, you told me that I am protected. What is this? I had to provide all the evidence and the proof that I have the trademark. Yes. I am protected. Yeah. And thanks to that, I still continue doing this. Now tell us, what stops people to call a trademark lawyer or to take the very first step to protect their business?
Well, I think people think it's a cost, and they don't realise it's actually an investment.
It's not. It's not that expensive, yeah?
It's not that expensive. It's an investment, and it's an investment in the future, and it's an investment in getting it right from the very start. Because the thing with now is, if you come out with a great idea and you put it onto social media, Facebook or Amazon, for example, for a product, or you even put it just, it's a service and you offer it online. If you haven't taken it, then somebody else will. And that's the big problem. If you've got a great idea, somebody, I'm afraid, will copy it these days. It's never been easier to copy. And we see, for example, Chinese businesses coming over here. They look to see what's protected. They look to see whether or not it's got a registered trademark, registered design right. And if they know it's a good seller and it's not protected, they will be in there. And I can tell you dozens of stories like that. So it's a very harsh world. And years ago, I've been a lawyer. I've been doing intellectual property for 30 years. And when I started in the law, you'd quite often say to people, if there were startups, well, listen, maybe start trading, see how it goes, and then you invest in your trademark. You cannot afford to do that now. It is early protection. Whatever it is, it's early protection is really key.
Now, I remember when I started this journey with Global Woman, it was like the very, very early days, like maybe less than a week. I started doing some research to call a trademark lawyer. And let me tell you why. It's not because I was smart, because I had no idea how it works, but I attended an event like this. And one of the speakers was presenting something with a complete different logo, with a complete different color, and she had to explain why did she have to do that. She said, after so many years putting so much hard work, I had to rebrand everything from scratch because I received a letter, you're not allowed to do this. And I thought, why? I didn't understand why, but then I asked questions. So what is this? How does it work? Because I was already planning to start something on my own, and I would never know if I didn't attend and educate myself in events like this. So my question to you is, once you file a trademark, where do you start? How does it work? Do you file it only in your city, in your country? Do you need to start big? Tell us, how does it work?
The way that we deal with it when we handle trademarks is we always do a clearance search first. So we landscape what's going on, because the trademark registries are busier than ever. So we have a look to see what's already out there, what the specifications look like. If it comes back clear before you've even started, then we say, right, we'll register. And quite often for companies that are going global, we'll do, for example, a registration just in the UK first, and then we'll take it global, we'll take it international. And there are all sorts of protocols and strategies. I won't bore you with the details, but if you're interested, come and chat to me about that. And then we can sort of take it, maybe you're going to be in the US, maybe you're going to be in Europe, maybe you're going to be in Japan. There's a strategy then for sort of taking the name more globally. But the key point is getting the base registration right. If you get that right, if you get a really good specification, a good tight specification for your trademark to start with, then it opens doors with the right people. You need the right sort of trademark people behind you. We file globally, as it were, for people, but of course we do that because we've got agents all over the world who do special arrangements with us.
And not only the trademark, but then later on when you start growing your business, and sometimes it can grow bigger than you think, and that's a good problem to have when you start seeing that you're moving fast and the vision is growing, but also the problems start showing up.
Of course.
The difficult people, the difficult customers, people who complain, people who claim, people who sue you, people, and you deal with this as well, yeah?
We do. I mean, 80% of what we do is litigation, actually. Mm-hmm. My main bag is litigation, but I love advising people on the whole strategy of how to get it right in the first place, to avoid the elephant traps that we then pick up on. You're right about that. I mean, it's the little hints and tips like making sure that your trademark's registered on the relevant platforms. Obviously, the trademark registry, the Facebook had got their application rather than your details. But it's possible to register your trademark on Amazon, Instagram, Facebook, all these other platforms where you're trading. Make sure they're aware of it. That's one key thing. Buying up domain names that are relevant, monitoring constantly what's going on online, so that you're aware of who might be using your name.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know I can speak all day long. 10 years in business, I have hundreds of questions. But another question is also how to protect yourself with the right contracts, with the right agreement.
Absolutely.
With the right terms and conditions.
Yes, yeah. Again, that's a key point. We talk to people all the time about making sure they've got a good set of terms and conditions. Make sure you get paid on time. How important is that? Make sure that the performance is there, so that both parties are clear what the performance of a contract will be. Make sure what the walk away point is. At what point are you going to terminate? Are you going to terminate because somebody's not paid you for 2 months? Whatever it is, those key things need to be in a contract. And make sure, again, we deal with a lot of creatives, obviously. Make sure your stuff doesn't get copied. And there's hints and tips. I mean, one little tip that I give away all the time, please take this away, ladies. If you are going to somebody with a confidential proposal or with an idea, say, for example, a schematic, you might be an engineer, you might have done a fantastic drawing because you're pitching for some work.
Yeah, that's another thing.
You might have done something that's really clever, and you're tempting the other side by showing them this. Number one, make sure that you've got some kind of confidentiality agreement. Number two, make sure that you've got your copyright all over it. And I'll tell you why that's important. If you're going out to somebody, you have to notify them that this information is confidential. Putting confidential on it automatically labels it as that. The other thing is copyright. Put your copyright on it. If those are your drawings, if those are your schematics, if those are your words, make sure your copyright labels on it. And then if somebody does copy it, you've got 2 bites at the cherry. Number 1, under the laws of confidence, and number 2, under the laws of copyright. And I can't tell you how much that saved some people in the past from heartache, because they've taken this great idea, this great project to somebody, and it's just been ripped off.
Well, is anybody who has a business but not trademark yet? All right. Okay. I mean, you're not too late, but better late than never. And is anybody who also is thinking, I need to systemize my contracts, my agreements, my terms and conditions. I need to protect myself. Great. So you are in the right room. So Elizabeth, thank
Thanks,
you so
Mirela.
much. Thank you for bringing.
Can I just give one little plug? I'm
Yeah.
doing a whole series of webinars. LinkedIn, if you link with me on LinkedIn, I'm doing a whole series of webinars. And I will cover this. If you've got demand for covering contract terms, for example, I'll do it. My first one is on Wednesday, and it's basically the basics of IP. 30-minute free lunch and learn sort of event. So connect with me on LinkedIn, and then
Sounds great.
then you can watch me do. I think the entertaining one, Mirela, might be the dupe handbags I'm going to do.
I like that. That would be amazing. Thank you so much, Elizabeth.
Thank you,
I
Mirela.
definitely resonate with everything you said.